It seems like another form of leverage that we both have in common over the last decade is the, importance of media. You talk a lot in $100 million leads and kind of doubling down on organic content and leveraging that. I know early on in the cannabis industry with Herb, we built that, 10 years ago with the goal of kind of, building a more tasteful, authentic platform to help connect kind of our brands with the best community out there in the space when it was really kind of sketchy, not a lot of good stuff out there. We talked a little bit about that a year ago. I'm curious on your side with, you got quite the Mosey Media empire going on here. Amazing team. I know a number of them. How did it bring us back to kind of your epiphany when you realized like, damn, we got to start building more of an audience here, move off of sort of the paid ad side and build this business different? What was the kind of thinking pattern there?
I mean, I had reality kind of slap me in the face a bunch of times in a row in a very short period. So like I was, just for the audience to like understand the gravity of this 180 degree flip for me is that like, I think episode 7 of my podcast is called Stop Branding.
Yes.
And I do, I mean, I leave it up there because I want people to see the, the progression over time.
I respect that too.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And so I was just like, cold outreach, run ads, don't talk to me. You know, like it's just like, that's what it is. Like that's how you're going to get customers. And obviously referrals and affiliates and things like that. The idea of just organic content didn't really make sense to me. And to be fair, I was also a local business owner and was speaking to local business owners. And I think that there's actually some truth to that. Because the thing is like, if you actually build an exceptionally large, personal brand, it doesn't make sense to monetize through a local business. And so what does make sense for a local business? Well, they probably should have strong referrals from their existing customers, create affiliate relationships with other local businesses. They should run ads. They should do outreach. Like that is probably
local SEO. Yeah.
Yeah. That is the approach they should be making. But I saw Kylie Jenner become a billionaire when she was 20 and I was 27 and I thought I was, hot shit. And I was like, she is way richer than I am. And so it means that she's doing something different than I am by an order of magnitude that I don't understand. And she had a personal brand. But I was like, you know what? Kris Jenner's been building her brand since she was 5. Like, okay, I'll write that off as a fluke. But then, Huda Beauty, sold a chunk of her thing at 600. Now I think it's worth over $1 billion. And, Conor McGregor had Proper 12 and George Clooney had Casamigos, right? And then The Rock has Terramana. And each of those multi-billion dollar things, like seemingly overnight. Now you've got Logan Paul with Prime. And so, but in that short period, it was like 12 months, all of these plays started coming out. And I was like, I'm playing this wrong. And so I still wasn't convinced because I didn't want to be famous. And I have another clip of me being like, I never want anybody to know who I am from a few years ago. And I was sat across the table from a friend of mine who's famous. You would recognize him. And I said, like, don't you get bothered by having like weirdos show up at your house like 3 times a week and like letters to your kids? And like, isn't that like, that doesn't seem worth it to me. And he said, if that's the price I have to pay for the impact I want to have, I'd pay that price twice a day and 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of looked at me and I just felt very called out, just like for being a pansy. And so I was like, all right, well, that's what I'll do. And so that was like the last straw that broke the camel's back. And I started making content that week.
Yeah, I see that self-limiting belief a lot with people where, they're like, oh, personal brand, I don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
And I think we live in a totally different day and age now. And there's a whole other kind of game being played.